Today I want to talk to you about something that I hadn't even planned on doing or talking to you about, but it just came up with a client of mine, and I really thought that all of you would want to hear about it. Hey everyone, I'm Keri Glassman. Welcome to your most nutritious life. So I was looking at a client's food journal, and I saw, now this is a savory person. When she indulges, I should say, she indulges in things like chips or fries off her kids' plates. She's not really the sweet type of indulger. So anyway, I was looking at her food journal and I saw some chocolate candies from her kids, and then I saw a donut, and then I saw a chocolate lava cake of some sort. And I said, what's going on? You're not even really a sweet tooth kind of gal. And she said, oh, it's that time of year. I indulge. I gain 3 pounds this time of year every year. So I said, what do you mean? You're just gonna, wait, what? And I said, wait, let's go back a second. So I talked to her about it, and I said, well, what was each situation? And whenever I'm looking at someone's food journal, I really like to know the why behind something. It's not just about, let's say, having that chocolate cake. It's why did someone consume that? Was it a planned conscious indulgence? Or was it, oh, I'm feeling like crap about myself, I'm just gonna eat this? Very different ways of eating something, and I would give very different advice. So I went back and I asked her about the different situations. And basically, she said to me she hadn't really even been craving it. She didn't really even care so much about having the sweet. It was just sort of there. It was in front of her, or she was at a party, but there was really no real craving, and there was really no mindful, conscious indulgence either. She just sort of ended up eating it because in her subconscious, this is the time of year she gains weight. But this is something that it seems like something very small, but it can be very powerful if you can adopt this mentality into your life right now for the next few weeks through the new year. Very often this time of year, people do set themselves up to fail. They say, right after Thanksgiving, it's always, and I've said this before, it's not the Thanksgiving meal that makes you gain weight. It's the waking up the next day and feeling like, oh, I ate so much yesterday and now it's a long weekend, woohoo! I'm gonna have, pancakes with some turkey thrown in there and some stuffing for breakfast. And then I'm gonna go drink and eat all weekend long. Oh, and then you know what? It's the holiday season, I'll start in January. So it's never about, that one meal. It's that one meal at Thanksgiving, or for some people, it's even candy at Halloween that can trigger eating, even foods that you're not necessarily craving or want, right through until the new year. So this year, what I want you to do is don't have that, first of all, let's get rid of that attitude of like the subconscious of, oh, I just gained weight this time of year. That I need you to throw away. Even write that down, rip up that piece of paper, write up that I gained weight this time of year, rip it up and then throw it away. Literally, I want you to throw it away so you can mentally throw away that attitude. Then I want you to write down something, and it can be your own mantra, whatever it is, but something that is not going to give you too much pressure. So I don't want you to write down, I'm going to lose 5 pounds during the next, the end of the year. I want you to write down something that is going to be your mantra for being consistent and for just being in cruise control. So you could even write that. I'm going to be in cruise control right now. Or it could be, I'm excited to put something healthy into my body every day. Just something that can be your sort of mantra for being consistent through the end of the year and not setting yourself up for failure, but setting yourself up for success going into the new year. Now again, I really want to point out, I'm not saying I want you to lose weight during this time of the year. I think that can sometimes lead to actually gaining because you feel so much pressure. So I don't want you to have the attitude of, oh, whatever, that throw in the towel attitude, or sort of, forget about it. It's, this is my time of year. I overconsume until next year. But I also don't want you having the, all right, no, I'm going to be really strong. I'm going to lose 3 more pounds till the new year. That can sometimes backfire. So what I want you to do is just say anything you do great right now with your health, with eating well, with having a healthy breakfast, with being consistent with your exercise is going to be bonus. And it's meant to be more, like I said, cruise control. So just think, whatever your weight is right now, or wherever, however many push-ups you can do, or however, whatever is going on with your health and fitness that you have a goal for. So let's just use the weight example. Let's say you weigh 160 pounds and you want to weigh 145 and your goal was to lose another 5 pounds by the new year. Well, I'm not saying you should totally throw away that goal. I just want you to take it down a notch, take away the pressure, knowing, being realistic that this time of year, there are a lot of things that come up, there are a lot of situations that come up that you can't control, there are a lot of temptations. So go into cruise control manner and just say, this year, I'm going to stay consistent, and I'm going to go into the new year right now being the same exact weight I am, 160. I almost can't promise you, but I can almost guarantee you that if you go in, if you're typically the type of person that gains weight at this time of year, if you take off the pressure to lose and you take away the attitude, that subconscious attitude of, oh, I just gained weight this time of year, get rid of that and you just put the pressure on yourself to be in cruise control. If you're consistently eating your healthy breakfast, don't get rid of that just because it's this time of year. If you're consistently having green vegetables with every lunch and dinner, don't ditch that just because, oh, it's that time of year and people bring in whatever for lunch to the office. Stay consistent without the pressure. Go into cruise control, no pressure to lose, just staying consistent, and I can almost promise you that you're going to probably end up even losing a little bit more by the new year. Which brings me to the new year. So in the new year, first of all, if you don't gain, you're not gonna feel like you've just set yourself back. You're not gonna feel all that pressure of, oh my God, now I have to do this again. You're going to feel more inspired. Wow, I just got through the whole new year feeling good, feeling like I did indulge in that, chocolate cake, but I didn't just throw up my hands, throw in the towel and say, oh, forget it, I'm eating everything in sight. So you're gonna feel good, you'll feel more empowered, you'll feel more motivated. And like I said, some of you probably are going to end up even starting 2 steps ahead than you thought you were going to. And then in the new year, when we talk about resolutions, I am not a resolution person. And it's funny because people always find that interesting because, or they find it surprising, I should say, because I'm a goal-oriented, ambitious person. I am not a resolution person. Resolutions also just give you even more of an excuse during this time of year to say, I'm eating all the chocolate in the world right now because come January, I'm never eating chocolate again. That's not realistic. It gives you an excuse to eat more now. And it also sets you up for failure in the new year. If you say something like, for me, it would never be realistic to say I'm never eating chocolate again. Absolutely unrealistic. I love chocolate and I love incorporating it into my diet in an empowering way. In the new year, I don't want you saying things like that. I'm never gonna eat chocolate, or I have to lose, these 15 pounds by Valentine's Day. If you have these big sort of things that you're never going to do or you have to do like that, it sets you up for failure. Because guess what? What if it's February 13th and you've only lost 5 pounds? Then you're just gonna feel like crap about yourself. That's no good. I want you to think of things that you can be consistent with so you can have more specific, better goals and constantly be working on yourself. I always say resolutions, again, they set you up for failure or they give you an excuse to throw in the towel on different things. If you just think about really looking at all of the pillars of your nutritious life, looking at your sleep, looking at your diet, and you think about taking each thing up a notch in a way that you can be consistent and tapping into that. Take a look at how you do each day or each week. Just how are you doing? Am I getting those 7 to 8 hours of sleep? Taking things up a notch and being more goal-oriented versus resolution and I'm never and I have to attitude is going to take you much farther. Okay, so I want you to enjoy the holidays this year. I want you to make some conscious indulgences in those things that you really care about, that are important to you. For me, it's usually something chocolate. For you, it could be something, I'm sure it's something totally different, or I'm sure there's some chocolate lovers out there too. But anyway, I want you to do that, but I want you to also focus on still being consistent with the things you have been consistent with. Take that pressure off of yourself, go into cruise control until the new year. You might even end up a few steps ahead of the game. And then in the new year, don't think hardcore resolutions, think about goals for each of your pillars of a nutritious life, your sleep, your stress. What are you going to do that you can have some good goals with and be consistent with to live your most nutritious life in this next year? Happy holidays, happy early new year, and thanks so much for watching. And if you need more inspiration in January, check out the Great 1 Month Slim Down. The link is below.